Good morning. From Fox 5 News, this is Good Day Atlanta at 8 a.m.
Breaking news this morning, an elderly man is killed after crashing into a home in Dunwoody. The impact starts a fire, forcing 6 people inside to flee.
Plus, we're seeing new video in the case of a man shot and killed by a Smyrna police officer. This comes as a grand jury decides not to file charges.
And in just a matter of hours, the Confederate flag will be removed from its pole at the state capitol in South Carolina. Good morning and welcome to Good Day Atlanta at 8. I'm Katie Beasley in for Gavir Jinza.
And I'm Buck Lanford. We'll have all those stories and more coming up in just a moment. First, we're going to head over to Paul Milliken. He's in for Joanne this morning in the Fox 5 Storm Center with a check. Do we have to do this?
It's so hot. I wish we did.
What is it you don't want to hear from me, or you don't want to hear the forecast? Which is it?
D, all of the above.
All of the above. Okay, well, too bad, Buck, because you got both of them right now. Unfortunately, we're talking about heat, and more heat for the weekend. Right now, it's 76 in Atlanta under mainly sunny skies. Look at that picture back there, a beautiful live shot of the city. So at least we've got cloud-free skies, but that dew point, 70, that's high. That means it is muggy outside. We're at 73 in Carrollton right now, 76 over in Athens, and a 78 right now in Covington. That would be our warm spot. As we move into the afternoon, we're going to top out in the upper 90s, or at least middle 90s in many spots. I think 94 in Atlanta, but some of you, particularly to the east and the south, could hit as high as 97 or 98 today. So just prepare for it. Also, just a slight chance for an afternoon shower or storm. I've got the full hour-by-hour forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Katie?
All right, thanks, Paul. We're checking in on Skyfox traffic first. And 85 heading southbound here. This is a peak right around that 10th, 14th Street exit as you're heading southbound toward the downtown connector. It's slow in spots here, but heading northbound on the connector, that's where the real delays are. 20 minutes between Langford Parkway and the Brookwood interchange. And then checking in on your big 3 from the northern suburbs, 14 minutes to make the trip down 85. That's not too bad at all. It's 16 minutes on Georgia 400. That one's kind of cranking up here later in the morning, and 21 minutes on 75. One of your worst rides from Wade Green down to the perimeter.
At 8:02, we begin with breaking news. Police are trying to determine what killed a man who drove into a Dunwoody home, sparking an early morning fire.
Good Day's Mark Teichner is live on the scene in Dunwoody. Mark, what can you tell us?
Well, within the last couple of minutes, they've actually removed the car from the house. I'm going to step out of the shot so you can see some of the damage that this car caused in this house. We are on Brook Ridge Drive in Dunwoody. The house is unlivable because it caught on fire. In fact, the flames were so intense, according to firefighters, that when they arrived, they didn't even know there was a car inside. Unfortunately, an elderly man has passed away. At this point, they're not sure if he died before he hit the house as part of hitting the house or if he perished in the flames itself. There were 6 people inside the home when this took place early this morning. The good news is all of those people managed to get out unharmed. We did talk with one of those folks, and here's what they had to say about how this all took place.
You know, there was a loud noise when we were sleeping, and we started running down. We thought either the tree came down or you know, the roof is collapsing, and by the time we actually got down on the ground, we saw that there was a car inside the house.
Yeah, like I said, within the last couple of minutes, they actually removed the car. It is charred, as you can believe. They took it away. They're going to work with the medical examiner's office to determine the exact cause of death, trying to pinpoint, again, whether this man, elderly male, died before he hit the house during the actual crash or whether he perished in the blaze. Well, we're going to have some more video for you and some more stuff for you coming up in the next hour on Good Day. But for now, that's the latest from Dunwoody. Mark Teichner for Good Day Atlanta. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Mark, thank you for that. It's 8:04 now, and new this morning, Atlanta police are trying to piece together an overnight shooting and chase. Officers say they chased a car to Forest Park in McWilliams where it crashed. The people inside ran away. Inside the car, investigators say they found blood and guns. 3 people later showed up at Grady Memorial Hospital. 2 of them had gunshot wounds.
There will not be any criminal charges against a Smyrna police officer who killed a man in March.
Good Day's Caitlin Pratt is live in Smyrna with more on that grand jury's decision. Caitlin, good morning.
Good morning to you both. The family of this man killed during this attempted arrest have maintained that he was not armed. The grand jury, though, seeing something quite different. The first video shows Nick Thomas walking out of a Goodyear store where he worked as a mechanic to drive a customer's car, a Maserati, to a work bay for repair. The DA says the video shows Thomas seeing the officers arrive to arrest him on the warrant. They knew from the day before police had been looking for him. The second video shows the Maserati pulling behind the store and speeding up toward the exit. Then the video allegedly shows the car backing up at a high rate of speed. As it backed around the building, the DA says that's when Sergeant Kenneth Owens opened fire on the car.
When the shooting occurred, you cannot see where the sergeant is, but he is bladed up against the building according to his testimony for his physical protection. He then knows or observes his officer from the same department with a K9 running up around the corner. He is concerned that in fact that car is going to strike that officer, and that's when he fires the weapon.
The DA says the next video is the Maserati driving out of control. Thomas behind the wheel and injured from the shots. He would later be pronounced dead at the scene. The final video showing police firing bean bags into the car to break the windows, not knowing that Thomas was unresponsive inside. Although the family has characterized Thomas as unarmed, the DA says the car is the weapon here.
There are a number of cases where the weapon of choice may not necessarily be what we expect it to be or what we usually see in the form of a gun or a knife. It can in fact be a weapon, such as a vehicle, and that was the case in this circumstance.
This family expected to react to this grand jury's no bill finding later on today. It's the very latest here in Smyrna. I'm Caitlin Pratt for Good Day Atlanta. Back to you.
Caitlin, thank you. 8:06 is your time now, and this just in. Carrollton police have arrested a man in connection with the murder of pregnant woman Nikita Holland. 25-year-old Terrell Wynn was taken into custody early this morning. He's been charged with murder, feticide, and cruelty to children. Holland was shot and killed earlier this week. Officials are working to determine if Wynn was the father of the unborn child. A Cartersville father was justified in shooting another man during an argument about their teenage children. That's the verdict of a Bartow County jury.
Tony Collins says that he confronted Mark Harris in 2012 after learning his 15-year-old daughter had gotten drugs from Harris's 17-year-old son. The confrontation ended when Harris shot Collins. 3 years later, Collins says he wants to put the ordeal behind him.
I'm glad the trial's over. I didn't go to the closings. I didn't go to the verdict. I'm actually going on with my life and glad to be alive.
Collins says he's still suffering the lingering effects of his injuries. The attorney for Harris says his client is ready to move on with his life. Do you remember, take a close look at this. This is video from a Walmart in Macon. We showed it to you recently. It shows mobs of teens storming the store, causing chaos and causing a huge mess.
Well, now 5 young people have been arrested and charged with criminal street gang activity. The NAACP alleges the serious gang charge was applied to these teens because they're black. Bibb County Sheriff David Davis says race has nothing to do with the charges. The NAACP is threatening a large protest if the charges are not reduced.
The 18-year-old at the center of an investigation into possible bomb making will appear before a judge this morning. Alexander Mason is charged with burglary, criminal trespassing, and possessing tools for committing a crime. Police arrested Mason at an abandoned warehouse where they say he was trying to steal mercury switches. Investigators then searched his father's Hapeville home and say they found bomb-making materials in the boy's bedroom.
The trial for admitted cop killer Jamie Hood is heading into its 12th day this morning. Yesterday, jurors were shown a video of Hood at police headquarters where he was taken soon after surrendering. In the video, he's calm, cool, and even smiles, but he stopped short of signing a paper acknowledging he was read his rights. That's because he wanted to first convince detectives and now a jury that Athens Clarke County police officer Buddy Christian abused his power, justifying the shooting.
Have you made a decision as to whether or not you will testify?
Yes.
And what is your decision?
I choose not to testify.
The man accused in a shooting rampage at a Colorado movie theater will not testify at his trial. Attorneys for James Holmes are expected to wrap up their case today, and that means jurors could start deliberating next week. They're trying to determine whether Holmes was legally sane during the shooting spree. 12 people died and 70 others were injured. A Georgia appeals court heard arguments yesterday from attorneys representing a North Georgia KKK group.
At issue is whether the state violated the KKK's constitutional rights when it refused the group's application to take part in a highway cleanup program. The group applied to join the state's Adopt a Highway program in May of 2012, hoping to clean up along Highway 515 in Union County. The state said no, saying its program was for, quote, civic-minded groups in good standing. The court will issue a decision in the coming months.
The Confederate battle flag that has flown at the South Carolina State Capitol since 1961 will come down this morning.
Governor Nikki Haley asked the state legislature to remove the flag in the aftermath of the killings at Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston. The man accused of those murders appears in online pictures posing with the Confederate emblem. Lawmakers passed a law removing the flag 3 weeks after that crime.
With that, I am proud to say that the bill has been signed. I do want to also acknowledge these 9 pins are going to each of the 9 families of the Emmanuel 9.
South Carolina State police officers will lower the Confederate flag at 10 a.m. It will go to the Confederate Relics Room at a state museum that is near the Capitol. 8:11 is your time. And coming up on Good Day Atlanta, a heartbreaking story from Eastlake where we're learning more about the man accused of shooting and killing his teenage sister.
Plus, a Kennesaw pastor learns how long he'll spend in prison after 2 young girls testify in court that he sexually molested them.
Time right now is 8:13. Happy Friday, everybody. We made it through the week, and we made it to a very hot weekend. If you are not ready for mid-90s, you better get ready, because we've got them today, and we've got them Saturday and Sunday, too. It's a warm start to the morning. 76 in Atlanta right now, 72 in Rome, and a 75 in Covington. So good morning to all of you. As we zoom the picture out, not much change through the entire southeast. It is just plain warm this morning, moving to just plain hot for the afternoon, thanks to our high-pressure ridge that's been in place now for a couple of days. It's why this week has been warm and relatively dry. And as long as that high pressure is in place, it's going to draw in this really nice, warm, moist air. And that means a hot and humid day today and through the weekend until that ridge finally starts to break down. Once that happens, we'll get a little relief in the week ahead. But we've got a couple of hot days to get through. Let's go through it right now, hour by hour. Going to start this off at noon today, where it's already 90 degrees. And as we go into the afternoon, again, this model's being a little funky. What it's doing doing is it's putting rain on top of us around 5, which is cooling down the temperatures. The rain chance is a really, really slight one, like 20%. So most of us will not see rain, and therefore your temperatures will be in the middle 90s. I'm going to say about 94 for an afternoon high for Atlanta. As we go then into the day, into the overnight hours, we drop down to near 70 degrees, so low 70s and staying quite humid. And then tomorrow, temperatures shoot right back up to the 90s, mid 90s again for most of us, around 93 in Atlanta, same thing in Athens, 92 in Covington. So again, just try to stay cool the best you can, maybe a good movie theater weekend. I hope there's something good out. It's been a long time since I've been to the movies. Here's a look at the extended forecast. Again, 94 today, 93 over the weekend with about a 20 at best 30% chance of showers. And then that 30% chance of showers lingers next week, and temperatures will cool just a little bit. At least we'll be back to the low 90s by the time we hit Wednesday and Thursday. Time now for another check on traffic this morning. Katie is standing by. What's going on?
There's several movies I could check off the list. It's been so long since I've been.
Long time.
It's been a while. 85 checking in at Indian Trail here as you head in from 316. Not too bad. It's a 14-minute trip time overall from 316 down to Spaghetti Junction, so it's slow in a few spots there. Also looking at the top and perimeter, it's definitely jammed in that spot where we normally expect it to be. Buford Highway, Peachtree Industrial Boulevard, but overall this trip time, it's going to take you about 15 minutes, so it's a slow little trip time there. Then looking at the East Expressway of I-20 from Highway 138 over to the perimeter, a few delays as you get close to 285 right around Wesley Chapel, Panola Road. 15 minutes though, so an extra just a minute or so as you head inbound from Highway 138. Buck.
Thank you, Katie. Now for an update on a story we brought you as breaking news yesterday morning. Family members say a man charged in his sister's death was suffering from delusional thoughts before he shot her. Police say 27-year-old Marquavis Oglesby killed his 16-year-old sister Ashley as she slept in her Greenhaven Drive home on Thursday. The girl's mother stumbled from the home after police say she witnessed the entire thing.
Some mental problem. He said somebody was chasing him, and he just had a weapon and he shot and it hit her.
Police are trying to determine what led up to the shooting. Family members say Ashley was a smart girl who dreamed of becoming a doctor.
A Kennesaw pastor will spend the next 10 years behind bars. It only took a Cobb County jury 33 minutes to find 78-year-old John Pinkston guilty of molesting girls. 2 young girls testified that Pinkston inappropriately touched them at his church, Congregation of God Seventh Day. During a police interview, Pinkston admitted to making a, quote, stupid mistake by touching one girl. He'll spend 10 years in prison and serve another 10 on probation. 8:17 now, and the massive data breach in a federal computer system was much worse than first reported and goes well beyond government workers. The Office of Personnel Management says critical information about more than 20 million people has been compromised. Fox's Doug Luzader is live in Washington, where there is a growing uproar. Doug.
Good morning. A growing uproar because while we knew there had been a data breach at the Office of Personnel Management, essentially the Human Resources Department for the federal government didn't really let on how big this breach really was until yesterday. The universe of possible victims of this data breach just expanded in a big way. The federal government's Office of Personnel Management now confirming that hackers made off with not just the data of 4 million federal employees, but also 19 million people who applied for security clearances and 2 million who were used as references, including friends and neighbors. Those who monitor cyber attacks have been seeing a pattern.
I think it's pretty clear that the attackers are winning and that the defenders are unfortunately lagging behind.
And despite some U.S. intelligence officials blaming China for the attack, there is a great deal of sensitivity on that point at the White House.
I know that there are some who've speculated on who may be responsible at this point. I'm not willing to do that.
And the president also not willing to cut loose the director of the Office of Personnel Management, Catherine Archuleta, who angered some members of Congress by saying that no one at her agency was responsible for the breach. There are now bipartisan calls for her to go and questions of accountability.
Who's been held accountable from the government side? Yet when we look at, for example, Target, the CEO and CIO were both fired from that. So we have to change the accountability. You got to change the attitudes. You can pass all the legislation you want, but until you start holding people accountable for failure, and these are failures, you won't get the type of change that we need in the time frame that we need it.
And what's really scary about this is if China, for instance, is actually the culprit here, they not only have all of this personal information about tens of millions of Americans, it turns out, but they also know who has security clearances. Back to you guys.
Scary information indeed. All right, Doug, thank you. It's 8:20 now, and the government of Greece is offering to cut spending much more deeply in exchange for a new bailout. The proposal would impose even harsher austerity measures than those rejected by Greek voters last weekend. The Prime Minister has asked the Parliament to approve his plan before he takes it to European bankers. Leaders of the European Union are expected to discuss the latest proposal from Greece on Sunday. 8:20 is your time now. Coming up on Good Day Atlanta, we're giving you a behind-the-scenes look at life aboard a food truck.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Paul Milliken live on the Fox 5 weather deck. You can probably hear there's a food truck backing in behind me right now. You've seen many food trucks lately right here on Good Day Atlanta, but what does it take to make a food truck work? I got to find out by being an employee for a day. Stay tuned. You might look at a food truck and think, well, it's smaller and there's not really a seating area, so it's gotta be easy. Yes, the team from Happy Belly Curbside Kitchen was nice enough to let me step on board for the day, and you think it's hot out here? Try being in the back of a food truck. Try being...
All right, welcome back to Good Day Atlanta at 8:23 on a Friday morning.
Food Truck Friday, our favorite.
Oh, I love it. The Atlanta Street Food Festival will take over Piedmont Park tomorrow, bringing together some of Atlanta's best and most popular food trucks.
And while you've probably eaten from a food truck before, you might not know how much work it takes to run a kitchen on wheels. Well, that's where Paul Milliken comes in. And Paul, you recently got a chance to spend some time in one of these?
I sure did. Yeah, not that we ever eat at food trucks, right? It only happens every single week. In fact, one is backing in still behind me right now. I think it's the Sweet Auburn truck coming in right now. Cannot wait. So we wondered, what does it take to make a successful food truck? And thanks to the team at Happy Belly Curbside Kitchen, I got to find out. And let me just tell you this. You think it's hot outside? Try being in the back of a food truck. You can call it a food truck if you want, but you won't hear that from the folks in the front seat.
We're a curbside kitchen, and we bring the kitchen and the restaurant to people.
Happy Belly Curbside Kitchen is the bright green idea of Dawn Hall and her late husband Terry. In just 3 years, it's become one of the hottest lunch spots in Atlanta.
The concept of Happy Belly is a farm to street food truck where everything is locally sourced, all natural, fresh, organic when possible.
Work on that food starts early, sometimes as early as 2:30 in the morning, here in the commissary kitchen in Smyrna.
So they're basically done.
Meat and veggies are prepped here, but for the most part, not cooked. That happens in the truck when it's ordered. Do you pre-make any of this stuff?
We make it from scratch.
You do. So if someone orders it, you make it, then you serve it.
Every order.
That means during a busy lunch rush, there are 4 people back here manning 4 stations.
What are you making now?
The Tree Hugger's Delight.
The space is tight and hot, and the work is not for everyone.
People that work these trucks have to be highly organized, highly motivated, hardworking.
Lucky for the Happy Belly team, we know someone who is all 3 of those things. So look out, lunch crowd. There's a new belly on board. Right now, I am a Fox 5 reporter. And now, I'm a food truck guy. Let's go. Oh yeah, time for the experience to begin. Coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, you'll see what it was like for me to be not actually in the back of the food truck, because I have to tell you, apparently they talked to Buck Lanford and he told them that I tend to like to eat a lot of food and sometimes steal food. So they put me out front and I got to take orders. And it's hard work. It's really hard work. It made me totally appreciate my day job. Hey, Buck, we're just obliging you and all the other viewers that write in and say, tell Paul Milliken to get another job.
Yeah, sure. The cush gig that you have, it's good to see you put in a hard day's work every now and then.
I sure did. I absolutely did.
Looks delicious. All right, can't wait. Thanks, Paul. Well, the Atlanta Street Food Festival, it's going on tomorrow at Piedmont Park from noon until 10 p.m. Tickets are $12 at the park. We've put a link with more information on the Fox 5 Atlanta app. Just look for today's viewer information story in the Good Day section. Approaching 8:27, coming up on Good Day Atlanta, it's a happy outcome to the story of 3 sisters who became lost during a backpacking trip in the Wyoming wilderness. Good morning and welcome back. It's 8:29. Checking in on the morning's top stories. A driver died after crashing into a Dunwoody home early this morning. Firefighters responded to a call of a house fire off Brookridge Drive. They discovered a car inside a house. The driver, an elderly man, was killed. No one else was hurt. Carrollton police have arrested a man suspected of murdering Nikita Holland, a pregnant woman gunned down through a window in her home earlier this week. 25-year-old Terrell Wynn was taken into custody earlier this morning. Officials are working to determine whether he's the father of that unborn child. The family of Nicholas Thomas plans to respond today to a Cobb County grand jury's decision clearing a Smyrna police officer in Thomas's death. This is surveillance video from the day of the shooting. Authorities say Thomas sped toward officers in a car, forcing one to open fire.
All right, 8:30 your time, hanging out with Paul over in the Fox 5 Storm Center. Seems like a good day to put on a gray suit and enjoy yourself.
It sure does.
You have on a gray suit, I have on a gray suit. You know what that makes us?
What?
2 peas in a weather pod.
Wow.
Can you like that?
No. You've been talking to Ron Gant too much, haven't you? You and those one-liners. Let's get to Fox 5 Live Viper right now. Buck needs a break, all right? He's not going to be here all week. Let's give him a break. Fox 5 Live Viper showing temperatures right now in the low to mid-70s, and I was just out on the Fox 5 weather deck, as you know, and it's quite humid outside, so you will feel that the second you walk outside. As we zoom this picture out, you see it's warm across the entire southeast, and will continue to be that way. High pressure right now is crossing into the region here as it moves through the southeast. It will draw in warm air, and that's what will keep our temperatures rather high, above normal. Your normal high for this time of year is about 89 degrees, and we're going to be into the 90s today. So again, this high pressure sliding through. What that also does is keep us insulated from other weather systems. Notice to our north here along the jet stream, we've got moisture moving through the middle part of the country. And in fact, I think later on in Kentucky today, we're going to look for the potential of some severe weather. But all of that stays to the north, and the high pressure keeps us nice and calm, just calm and hot today. Here is the hour-by-hour forecast as we move this into the afternoon. Temperatures will top out in the middle 90s. As I keep saying, this model wants to give us a little rain later today, and it's picking up on that rain and saying, okay, the rain's going to cool us back down to the 80s, maybe some 70s. Really don't think that's going to happen for most of us. If you get rain today, you will be one of the lucky ones. Most of us are going to just stay hot and humid. Tonight, temperatures drop to the low to mid 70s. Tomorrow, we're right back to the 90s, and notice the little flecks of green there. So again, the model is saying possibility is there, may get a couple of showers. Not everybody's going to see that activity. In fact, most of us will not. I'd say about a 20% chance today and through the weekend. Here is the extended forecast. So we go from 94 today to 93 on Saturday and Sunday. We will stay at 93 in the early part of the week, and the rain chance starts to increase just a little bit, back to 30% for Monday and Tuesday, and then up to 40 on Wednesday. So that will be your best chance to get some rain and storms in the week ahead. Time now for another check on traffic. Katie.
All right, we're checking in on 285 on the top end perimeter right around Ashford Dunwoody. It's a 16-minute trip time right now if you're heading westbound, leaving 85 over to 400. 75 coming in from Wade Green to the perimeter right now. That's going to take about 21 minutes to make that trip. And then here's some trip times. The West Expressway, 20 minutes here, 12 minutes to make that trip from I-20 if you're coming in from Fairburn Road. And then the West Wall, it's going to take 27 minutes now to head north from I-20 to I-75. 8:32 and terrifying moments for a Dunwoody family when a car crashes into their home.
Good Day's Mark Teigner is live at the home with new information. Mark, good morning.
Well, good morning. We can tell you, Buck, within the last couple of minutes, they actually removed the body of the driver that hit that home, and he has been taken away by the medical examiner's office. This, as the house that he slammed into ended up catching on fire, and it's basically considered unlivable as we speak. Now, let's take a look at some video that we shot a little bit earlier of this situation. It was early this morning. The family actually asleep when this car slammed into the house. The family, 6 of them inside, said they actually thought maybe a tree had hit the house because they heard this loud boom. Came downstairs and discovered that there was a car sitting in sort of the front area. Not long after that, house caught on fire. The flames so intense that when firefighters arrived, they didn't even know that there was a car inside the home until they discovered it. Again, the driver of that car, he perished, unfortunately. Now they're trying to figure out if that elderly man died either before he hit the house, during he hitting the house, or maybe because of the fire.
We're trying to piece all that information together so we can come up with a cause. We also have the Cobb County Arson Unit on scene. They're working on the fire cause. We're going to piece all that information together to see what actually caused this.
At this point, we can tell you that the 6 people inside the house managed to escape unharmed. That's good news. Unfortunately, their house, obviously a wreck. That car is destroyed, and most importantly, a man lost his life out here. We're reporting live from Brookridge Drive in Dunwoody. Mark Teigner for Good Day Atlanta. Back to you guys in the studio.
Mark, thank you. New surveillance video has been released of the deadly crash in February involving Caitlyn Jenner. TMZ provided the video from a bus camera. It shows Jenner hitting a white Lexus followed by a blue Prius. The impact pushed the Lexus into oncoming traffic where it was hit head-on by a Hummer. The driver of the Lexus was killed. That woman's family is suing Jenner. Police are still investigating the crash.
3 sisters from the Midwest have been found alive after being missing for days in the Wyoming wilderness. A helicopter spotted the girls Thursday after a phoned-in tip about a person wearing a white rain jacket in an area with no trails. The girls were found about 7 miles from their car. Officials say they were cold and hungry, but otherwise okay.
The time is 8:35. Coming up on Good Day Atlanta, it has bacon and pimento cheese, and it's been named one of the best burgers in Atlanta. Burgers with Buck visits the Albert in Inman Park. That's coming up next. Stay with us. All right, welcome back to Good Day Atlanta at 8:38. Now, if you think the Albert in Inman Park is just a neighborhood watering hole, think again. Now, it is that. I'll give you that. But as Burgers with Buck found out, there's a lot more to the Albert than just a hip, cool place to hang out. Okay, this week, Burgers with Buck, we're in Inman Park. We are at the Albert. And this is the Albert. And this is Craig.
Yes.
All right, so before we talk about this, Craig, let's talk a little bit about this place, the Albert.
We are just like your local neighborhood bar and grill. We have a lot of regulars who come in all the time. We just try to be very accommodating to people. It's a great place if you want to come in and get a burger and a beer, or just want to come and hang out all day. This is the place to do it. We just try to just be your local neighborhood watering hole with great food.
All right, so you kind of envisioned this burger right here. So, I mean, as I look at it, it's very appealing. Tell me about it. Tell me where the inspiration came from.
It's pretty simple. I like pimento cheese and I like bacon, and I thought, man, those would be really good on it. Yeah, it's hard not to like those two things. And we do a really great house-made pimento cheese here, and I just one day I was like, we need our own signature burger with our name on it, and I was like, nothing's explains the Albert like pimento cheese and bacon. We're that kind of place. So I put it on a burger one day, and people loved it, and we haven't stopped serving them since.
And it's kind of caught notice too. It's some acclaim,
Yeah.
some recognition.
Yeah,
for
people
this burger.
really like it. We'll sell hundreds a day sometimes, and it's a really great burger, I think. And people have really taken a shine to it.
How many Albert burgers have you eaten, if you had to take a guess?
Oh man, too many. Like I have high cholesterol for a 25-year-old. It's ridiculous. We always toaster bun because we're not losers. That's how you make a burger. And it's got bacon, which isn't house-made. We wish we could do it, but we can't. And then we make our house-made pimento cheese. And then on the bottom there, it's got some pickled red onions, just to kind of fight through all that fat and juiciness and salt.
That's a vegetable,
yeah,
right?
exactly. I fought against it, but I had to put a vegetable.
We got to make it as healthy as possible.
Yeah.
In one sentence, what's the coolest thing about this place?
Oh man, when you're here, your family.
That's pretty good. Is that your slogan, or did you just make that up?
Yeah, I think I just made that up.
The Albert.
Yeah.
When you're here,
your family.
I'm ready to taste this.
Yeah,
How
eat
about
it.
you?
Jump in. I got some napkins there for you.
That's smart, because I've spilled all kinds of things down my chin.
Yeah, you're gonna have to really hunch over.
Yeah, I'm looking for where the best place is. I think you just got to go for it.
You can't be scared.
Yeah,
it's a scary burger, but you can't be scared.
I'm not scared. There's one thing I'm not, is scared. All right, here we go. The Albert.
The Albert burger. Jump in. Oh yeah. There it is. Pretty good.
Take it away, Craig.
All right, this is Fox 5 Atlanta. This is Burgers with Buck. I'm Craig Holzer. Back to you guys.
You may have a future in television. Right on Sunday, the Albert will celebrate 8 years as that hip, cool Inman Park neighborhood bar and grill. For more information on the Albert, go to the Good Day section of the Fox 5 Atlanta app. And as always, if you have a favorite burger joint that you'd like to see featured on Burgers with Buck, well, heck, I'd like to feature it. Hit me up on Facebook or on Twitter. Let me know about it. And if you guys could have heard all the and all the noises that Katie Beasley was making. And like I tell her, she's eating for two. You need to come out on these segments with her.
Yeah, right? Was it as good as it looked?
The pimento cheese was awesome. The bacon was thick cut, which I really liked. But I think the key, it might surprise you, is those pickled red onions on the bottom. It just gave it that little extra something that it needed.
Man.
I'm a believer.
I think I'm going to have a burger today.
All right,
it's
sounds
going to
good.
happen. 8:41 is your time. And coming up on Good Day Atlanta, parents get a strong warning about what could happen to their children if they're late picking them up from school. Stay with us.
back. It is 8:44, sizzling hot outside. Look at that shot right now, live shot from our tower cam, and I think what you're seeing there is a lot of haze from all the moisture in the atmosphere. Man, you'll feel it when you walk outside. Not enough to keep us, though, from going outside to try that food truck very soon. It's being set up as we speak. Let's get to a viewer photo. You know, I love when I see what you guys are seeing out there, and Kathy is always great about sending in photos, really good ones, too. This is from Franklin, and what a beautiful shot of the sunrise. I love that picture. But even that, doesn't that just kind of look hot? Like it looks like it's hot outside with that sun coming up. Again, you'll feel it when you walk out there today. Highs today will top out in the 90s, well into the 90s, and we will be warmer than we were yesterday. So if you thought yesterday was hot, just wait for this afternoon. It's going to be even hotter. Here's the radar shot right now, and our scan is coming off nice and clean. Not much to talk about right now. So no rain out there, and I don't think rain is really going to be a factor all weekend long. About a 20% chance today and over the weekend, and that's it. It's 80 in Atlanta, 77 in Rome, 80 in Carrollton, 81 in Eatonton right now. As we zoom this picture out, it's really pretty quiet across the entire southeast. Notice, though, you go to our north, and it's very active in Illinois, Indiana, moving into Ohio, and later today, I think Kentucky will be under the gun for some severe weather. Here's the deal. The jet stream is running right through that area. So underneath the jet stream, we've got this high pressure ridge and we have nothing going on, just the heat building in. But you go up to the north and it's much more active with this flow of moisture up here and the jet stream causing some problems for folks there. So at least, again, it's a good thing. It's going to be nice and calm this weekend, but it is going to be hot. So any outdoor activities, give yourself time and take breaks and drink water and all that good stuff. Your average high is 89 degrees and we'll be up to 94 in Atlanta, 95 in Marietta. We could get up to 97 in Conyers. That looks a little high to me, but I guess it could happen. So prepare yourselves for that. 96 in McDonough, 94 in Griffin, and a 94 in Greenville as well. Up to the North Georgia mountains and no real relief there. We generally expect for things to be a little bit cooler, right? Well, still going to be in the 90s. Blue Ridge, Blairsville, Clayton, you'll be right around 90 degrees. Cedartown at 96 and Buckhannon at 94. And real quick, I'll just show you the hour-by-hour forecast. You really won't see a whole lot here, but as we run this through 6 p.m. this evening, and the model wants to put a little green here, so the chance is there for a quick shower or storm, but it's such a low chance. I wouldn't worry much about it. Same thing will happen Saturday afternoon. You saw a little blip of green there, so the potential is there. I'd keep an umbrella in the back seat of the car, but I really don't think you're going to need it for most of us. Just a 20% chance of showers and storms. A better chance, though, is coming in next week, and we'll talk about that coming up. First, though, got to check on traffic again. Katie.
Absolutely. One last check here, and we're checking the downtown connector. This is right around 14th Street, and it's looking pretty good here. 11 minutes to head north and south between Langford Parkway and the Brookwood interchange. Your big three from the northern suburbs. It's only 10 minutes on 85. That's back down to a green right here. It kind of looks like a traffic signal here. We got the green, then we've got the yellow ride on Georgia 400. 18 minutes from Old Milton Parkway and 26 minutes. It's a slow ride coming in on 75, working through from Wade Green to the perimeter right now.
All right, coming up on 8:48, officials in one Oregon school district are issuing an apology for a disturbing letter sent to parents.
Yeah, the letter threatened to turn children over to state custody if parents didn't pick them up on time. The letter reads in part, quote, "Children must be picked up on time. If they are not picked up on time, we will call DHS and you will have to pick them up at court the next day." District officials say the letter was sent in error, it was inaccurate, and wasn't very courteous.
So that brings us to today's hot topic question. What do you think about the situation? We want to bring in Paul and Karen now for our discussion.
Yikes. I'd say it's a little discourteous.
Is this a problem for you've got kids? Well, your kids are homeschooled.
No, no, they go to a small school, and
is that a problem? Parents just kind of abandoning their kids? And
I don't think so, but obviously this is a problem here at this school district because it must have been abused for them to even resort to even considering that.
Yeah. That letter feels like it was written as an emotional response, and it must have been some kind of problem there that they just got fed up with it and sent that letter in.
It's like the stuff you do at work all the time.
To you, the emails that I send to you, absolutely.
Don't send that, Paul. You'll get fired. Don't do that.
But I mean, that is a little bit. I would say it's threatening. I mean, come on.
But okay, it
custody?
is. Yeah. But let's take the other side of that.
That's what I want.
If you're
a teacher
at work, you're a teacher, and you got all these kids sitting, and you're like, well, my day's over.
You can't leave.
I'm supposed to. Yeah. What are you going to do?
Yeah, that's frustrating.
So if it is a problem, like something, the kids, it's not it's the school's responsibility to babysit your kids after school hours. A lot of schools have programs, but I think those cost extra generally. After school programs and things like that.
That's why I'm curious to hear from educators here in the Metro Atlanta area.
I bet you'd hear from some.
I'm just curious. I don't know if it's a big problem or just maybe just an exception to the rule or.
That's got to be frustrating.
How in the world did that get sent out accidentally, though?
It's a big error.
Big error.
Really big error.
I'm thinking accidentally.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
Somebody may end up getting fired over that, too. So.
Yeah.
Well, we want you to join in on our discussion as well. Post your answers on our Facebook page or Twitter, and we're going to share them in the 9 o'clock hour of Good Day Atlanta.
Your time is now 8:50. Coming up on Good Day Atlanta, it takes the right kind of plant to survive this Georgia heat, especially this one. We'll have expert advice on which flowers will still look beautiful when the temperatures soar.
Well, we are well into July now, and I don't know if you can tell, don't get too close, but I'm sweating, and probably a lot of you are, because we're right in the heat of the summer, and that's why we need some help with heat-resistant plants in our gardens. You don't want a lot of brown this time of year sitting out there, so Melody McDaniel from Pike Nurseries here to help. Great to see you.
Good to see you, Paul.
And this is really beautiful. Are these really all kind of heat-tolerant plants?
They are, and you can get so much color that way. And think about, we spend time on vacation, or we just are out living our lives outside and don't have time to water our plants. So why not put in plants that don't need care?
I love that. Yeah, low maintenance and ones that are going to survive this summer. So let's get started. What do you suggest?
Well, first of all, you can choose from many different perennials. They come back year after year. So perennials like these beautiful cone flowers.
Okay.
Totally durable once they're established. Now that's the thing, you need to know the difference between an annual and a perennial. Annuals you put out every year. Perennials come back year after year. So once they're established, you don't have to think about them the next year. Yeah.
Great. Now is this the same thing, just a different color?
Just a different color.
Wow, that is so beautiful. Okay, what else do we got?
So we also have Angelonia here, which doesn't it look like a delicate little flower?
It does,
It comes in blue and purple and pink, so lots of color choices there. And it has some uprights, so it's great to be kind of a taller plant in the garden bed or in a container. And yeah, it's easy once you get it established in the garden. And one of our all-time favorites for beating the heat is the vinca. You cannot go wrong with vinca. Plant it in the spring, and even if we're in a really dry spell, they're fine.
Fantastic. You know, once upon a time, I was given a gift of, I think they called it a hen and chicks or something like that, and it looks like this one.
And can't you see why? Because you see you have the moms and the little babies.
Yeah,
So,
and I will say, and I kill everything, and this actually survived for quite a long time.
It's a succulent, and succulents are plants that hold water somewhere in their plant. It might be the root system, it might be the leaves, like in this case, and we've got some more fun succulents down on the front of the table, and you can see those. Lots of texture variety.
Yeah, they're so neat.
Neat color, and even some that bloom. The one with the pink bloom right there, that's an ice plant, which is also a perennial. And so are the hens and chicks.
And I think this might surprise people. I said this looks like an aloe plant, but surely that's not aloe, but you say it is.
It is an aloe. It's a different variety than the kind we keep inside to use on burns. It's a decorative aloe, and you can even see, look, did you see the bloom?
Wow.
Isn't that pretty?
I didn't even realize that was the same thing.
Yeah, that's the same thing. So that's the bloom on that aloe.
All right, sounds good. You're going to get us through summer with plenty of color. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And for more information on all of these plants, and there are really some good ones here, just go to the viewer information story on the Fox 5 app. For now, I'm Paul Milliken for Good Day Atlanta.
Oh, he's had quite a morning. He's been in a food truck. He's been at Pikes. He's even told us about some hot weather.
I was taking notes there because my yard is just looking kind of
Yeah. Tis the season, right?
It is, yeah.
All right, that's going to wrap up the 8 o'clock hour of Good Day Atlanta.
Karen Graham standing by for a look at our 9 o'clock hour.
Hey,
How's your
Katie.
yard looking?
My garden of Wheaton is gone. It looks really good now. Coming up on Good Day Atlanta, the Atlanta Public School is getting ready for a new school year in the wake of the test cheating trial. Superintendent Dr. Maria Karstafen joins us live in our Good Day studio to talk about moving past the scandal and going back to school.
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right, we are 2 minutes from the top of the show.
Gotcha.
Little girls.
Good morning. From Fox 5 News, this is Good Day Atlanta at 9 a.m.
Good morning and welcome to Good Day Atlanta at 9. I'm Karen Graham. Thanks for joining us this Friday morning. Yep, summer is in full swing, but it's also time to start getting ready for the first day of school. Sorry, kids. Backpacks, health screenings, extracurricular activities. Atlanta Public School Superintendent Dr. Maria Karstafran is here in our Good Day studio this morning to talk about back to school and where the school system stands in the wake of the test cheating scandal. Then, before it was even a restaurant, it was buddies driving around in a trailer with their barbecue and homemade side dishes. So it's only natural that Sweet Auburn Barbecue would have a food truck, and it is here this morning. Look at that, Fox 5, that's nice. Plus an IT investigation into the millions of dollars lost due to water theft. Dana File traces the money trail to Metro Atlanta homes. All of that's in this hour of Good Day, but we begin with breaking news. An elderly man is killed after driving his car into a Dunwoody home. Good Day's Mark Teichner is live on the scene with the latest. Mark, good morning.
Yeah, this was a terrible story. We got an elderly man, as you mentioned, died when he hit this house, a house on Brook Ridge Drive here in Dunwoody. That house then caught on fire, believe it or not. Now, this all took place early this morning. 6 people at home when this happened. They at first thought maybe a tree had hit the house. They came downstairs to discover this car inside the home, and then not long after, the house burst into flames. The flames so intense that when firefighters arrived, they didn't even know there was a car inside the house. All 6 people who were in the home, they managed to get out unharmed. That's good news. Unfortunately, the elderly driver passed away. At this point, they don't know if he died before he hit the house, during the hitting of the house, or maybe if he perished in the fire.
We're trying to piece all that information together so we can come up with a cause. We also have the Cap County Arson Unit on scene. They're working on the fire cause. We're going to piece all that information together to see what actually caused this.
You know, there was a loud noise when we were sleeping, and when we started running down, we thought either the tree came down or, you know, the roof is collapsing. And by the time we actually got down on the ground, we saw that there was a car inside the house.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Those folks did manage to get out of the house. The car has been removed. The body has also been taken from the scene. They're going to go and try to figure out exactly what caused, again, this man's death. At this point, the house, though, is not considered livable. We're reporting live from Dunwoody. Mark Teichner for Good Day Atlanta. Karen, back to you.
Mark, thank you for that. Now let's get more of the morning's headlines from Good Day Atlanta's Buck Lampert. Buck, good morning.
Good morning to you, Karen. Carrollton police have arrested a man in connection with the murder of a pregnant woman, Nikita Holland. 25-year-old Tyrell Wynn was taken into custody early this morning. He's been charged with murder, feticide, and cruelty to children. Holland was shot and killed earlier this week. Officials are working to determine if Wynn is the father of the unborn child. Later this morning, the family of Nicholas Thomas will speak publicly about the Cobb County Grand Jury's decision not to indict the Smyrna police officer who killed him. The panel decided not to bring charges against Sergeant Kenneth Owens after viewing a surveillance video of the shooting in March. It apparently shows Thomas driving a car toward Owens just before he fired. Prosecutors say that made Thomas armed and dangerous.
There are a number of cases where the weapon of choice may not necessarily be what we expect it to be or what we usually see in the form of a gun or a knife. It can in fact be a weapon, such as a vehicle, and that was the case in this circumstance.
Owens was with a team of officers that went to a Smyrna tire store to serve an arrest warrant on Thomas. New this morning, Atlanta police are trying to piece together an overnight shooting and chase. Officers say they chased a car to Forest Park and McWilliams where it crashed. The people inside ran away. Now, inside the car, investigators say they found blood and guns. 3 people later showed up at Grady Memorial Hospital. 2 of them had gunshot wounds. Authorities are searching for 3 suspects who stole a car and then led police on a chase. A trooper started chasing the suspects on I-75 as they entered Clayton County. We're told Hapeville and College Park police had already been chasing it for a while. The suspects eventually led police into a neighborhood in Fulton County. The stolen car hit a tree on Mozart Drive, but tried to keep going. A trooper then performed a pit maneuver to stop it. The suspects ran away. The Confederate battle flag that has flown at the South Carolina State Capitol since 1961 will come down this morning. Governor Nikki Haley asked the state legislature to remove the flag in the aftermath of the killings at Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston. The man accused of those murders appears in online pictures posing with the Confederate emblem. Lawmakers passed a law removing the flag 3 weeks after that crime.
With that, I am proud to say that the bill has been signed. I do want to also acknowledge these 9 pins are going to each of the 9 families of the Emmanuel 9.
South Carolina State Police officers will lower the Confederate flag at 10 a.m. It will go to the Confederate Relics Room at a state museum that is near the Capitol. The Women's World Cup champions who were celebrated at a Los Angeles rally on Tuesday will travel through New York's Canyon of Heroes. Later this morning, it's the first time members of a women's sports team have ever received that ticker tape honor. Tens of thousands of New Yorkers are already starting to line the section of Broadway where the parade will happen. City Hall will host a reception and a rally for Team USA coming up after the parade. Before celebrating Mass for thousands of worshipers in Santa Cruz, Bolivia, Pope Francis popped into a Burger King. He wasn't craving a Whopper. He was changing clothes. The fast food joint was closed because of the Pope's visit, and the Vatican asked the owner if the pontiff could use it as a staging area. The windows were covered with white curtains so the Pope could have a little privacy as he put on his vestments. How about that?
Are you going to say no to the Pope?
Yeah,
Can't
exactly.
come in here, sir.
Shoot, now it's a tourist attraction. Come in our Burger King. This is where the Pope changed clothes,
That
all right?
is
And get
amazing.
yourself a Whopper.
All right, Buck. We'll see you in a little bit for another update. Thank you so much for that. Paul Milliken joins us now with a look at our forecast. And it's really funny. Our floor director, Naomi, was looking at the lights going, "It's a little dark. I think we need to adjust the lights." I'm like, no, I've been in the sun playing tennis. I've got a tan here. Full
We
on
all
tan.
got tans, yeah, from being outside this week. It turned out to be a really nice week overall. I mean, just to get outside, not as much rain out there. And the temperatures weren't too blazing until today. And now it all changes. Yeah, let's get to it right now. And good morning, everybody. It's great to see you. Here's a look at our current conditions. What a pretty shot. The sky's blue outside. There's very few clouds, so at least that's good news. The bad news is, look at that dew point of 71 degrees. The dew point is the measure of the moisture that the air can hold. When it's above 60, 65, that means it is so muggy outside. And this one's up to 71, so you know it is humid, and it will be that way all day today. Right now around the region, we're at 80 in Atlanta, 80 in Alpharetta, 76 in Lawrenceville right now, so good morning to you. At 83 in Covington, 84 in Madison, and an 83 in Eatonton. Good morning to all of you. Again, enjoy these 80s while you can, because it's only going up from here. 77 in Blue Ridge, 75 in Blairsville, and an 82 in Homer. So enjoy the day, although again, it is going to be a hot one. High pressure is kind of setting up camp over the southeast. As it does so, it will draw in warm air, and that's why temperatures will just keep bumping up. Today, I'm forecasting a high around 94 degrees, and it's going to be mainly dry too. Notice what's happening here. A lot of moisture and a lot of activity to our north right along the jet stream, but because the jet stream is so far to the north, it's kind of keeping us insulated from any other systems. So it's going to be rather calm here with just about a 20% chance of a shower or storm today. Here is your forecast for the rest of the day. Again, 94 should be your high. Then we fall to the 80s for the evening, so it will be very warm this evening. Overnight lows will bottom out in the mid-70s. And then tomorrow, Karen, we're going to do it all over again. Back to the 90s, heat and humidity for your weekend.
Lots of sunscreen.
Yep,
All right, Paul, thank you for that. 9:07 is your time. Coming up on Good Day Atlanta, we're talking back to school with the Atlanta Public School Superintendent. There she is. Dr. Maria Karstafen joins me here in our studio next. Stay with us.
Get a mic check. Count to 10.
10, 9, oh, up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You can say anything, really.
One lonely spider wished to play. 2 beetles gasped and ran away. 3 fireflies.
Wow, that's pretty good. Wow,
It's
not so
like-
much. Again,
it's
something
just so- and
changed.
That's in my generation.
Something changed.
That's from the 90s.
My mother got out because she said she saw something. She says, you know what,
It cha-
I can't
it's.
do
I think
this.
it's high stakes accountability.
Yeah.
I think it changed the whole.
Up in the morning and out to school. The teacher is teaching the golden rule.
Welcome back. 9:10 is your time. One thing you can say about Dr. Maria Christopher, she is a straight shooter. She didn't mince words when she said the Atlanta public school system was a, quote, hot mess when she took over as superintendent a year ago. And she has spent the first year of her tenure trying to change what she calls the culture of APS. Dr. Christopher joins us now with a one-year APS report card. Was I right?
Yes.
You just say it like it is. This is what needs to be done. Let's do this thing. And when you took over the job here, I prayed for you. I'm like, this is a daunting task. I knew this was going to be a lot.
It is a lot, but it's also inspiring. I mean, there's no city in the world that deserves a better public education system after what it's gone through than Atlanta. So I'm very excited to still be here. I'm excited about the work we have ahead. Fair enough, culture will eat our strategy for breakfast every day if we don't get our arms around making sure we transition from an adult agenda to a child-centered agenda. But at the heart of what I've seen in Atlanta and to look at the hearts of the people of Atlanta, I know that this can be done. So it's going to be a lot of work. You have my commitment to keep pushing through it. A lot of good things can be overshadowed by some poor decision making of adults, but it's not going to hold us back. I am ready to move forward. I see a big team ready to move forward, and the generosity of Atlantans has been humbling.
And some positive signs, the board passing the budget.
Yes.
9-0.
9-0, first time in 6 years. It's exciting, yes.
And do you think there'll ever come a time, see, I'm a product of APS, and I'm very proud of that. And there was a time when excellence was the standard. It wasn't just, an exception to the rule. It was the rule. Will a time come where APS will not be associated with a cheating scandal, but the total opposite? APS is excellent.
I know that it's possible. I came out of a school district in Texas that had gone through its own version of a cheating scandal. Fair enough. It took about 15 years to really move out of that as the conversation where everyone started. But I think that Atlanta, with the momentum that we have, the people that we are recruiting, the board that has been elected by the people of Atlanta, really puts us in a good spot to restart, refresh, do it over again, and do it to the standard that you're talking about. Excellence should be the norm. We want to work in a culture that's caring and respectful of our families and our children, and we want every child to be prepared for college and career. That's a mission I can get behind. That's a mission I can recruit against. That's a mission that I think will bring better people to the district every single day, and will also retain the best people who have been in the system, overlooked, overworked, and who now need to be acknowledged for the great work that they've been doing while all these other shenanigans have been going on. But that day is not fully over. I know that we're still going to unearth some things. You can't fix all of these problems in just a 10-month school year, but I think that we have a strategy that's going to push more things to the surface. We're going to get faster, we're going to get leaner, we're going to get more efficient, and we're going to get more responsive, being more proactive rather than reactive to some of the challenges that people have been able to, see every. I just think we'll be able to move through it.
Are you on schedule? Meaning you're here for 3 years, presumably for now.
Yes.
I'm sure you had a 3-year plan. Are you on track? But year one's gone by. We're coming into year 2 now. Are you seeing things the way you hoped you would see them on schedule?
Yeah, we do have an approved strategic plan, and it certainly takes us through 5 years. So we've been working that plan every single day. There've been a couple of bumps in the road. We had to slow down around our budget process, but we did get the budget approved, as you noted, and I think that it set us up for a great school year. We're on target with the operating model decision that we had to make. We turned in our application on time. We fixed a lot of problems between the state and federal government and APS, where we had made some mistakes that I inherited around reporting and monitoring. But every month, when we find problems, I have a great team that is willing to fix them. And so I think, I'm a student of kind of Greek philosophy and some of the classic writers and philosophers, but there's a theory that a good man apologizes for the past, a great man actually fixes it. And so I want us to be a great district full of great leaders who want to fix things, not just apologize for them. And so I think we have a growing group of people who want to do that, and there's a lot of evidence that we're moving on our way.
Can I say a great man or woman? You're just going to throw that in there because that's what you're doing.
Mankind.
You're here to fix it. Yeah, you're here to fix it. And what I'm hoping, I remember when I was going to school, that first day of school, it was exciting, it was new, everything just looked new and it was fresh. And that's part of your plan as well with this back to school bash. You want kids to go into the school year. There's a bash coming up. We'll talk, that's what we're about to talk about. And you want kids to go in just thinking about learning. Just go in, don't worry about what was going on in the summertime. You walk through that door for the first day. Here we go.
Well, see, the first day of school for us actually started when we were leaving school. We did a whole summer reading program where every child, regardless of socioeconomics, received a backpack full of books and a plan to work with their families on reading. We wanted to promote literacy in the summer so that students would not miss a beat, even if they weren't with us or participating in our summer programming, and just to encourage learning. I think that APS really got off of its core purpose with all these distractions, but we started the next school year before we left this school year. And I want people to feel a seamless, continuous drive toward lifting and promoting children and their education. But we have a couple of big dates coming up. We got Saturday, July 25th is our back to school bash, which will be followed up very quickly with everybody watch the roads. Our buses will be out on the 29th practicing routes. Then we follow up on Monday, August the 3rd, with some open houses across the district for all families to come to their schools. And then wait for it, Wednesday, August 5th is the first day of school. Let me emphasize the word Wednesday. So
enjoy your summer while you can.
Yes, enjoy your summer.
July
it's a midweek
25th,
start.
That bash right there, we're going to be a part of that as well. I mean,
know, we love that y'all are going to be there.
Huge. I mean, you've got so many sponsors coming out. The entertainment provided by none other than my alma mater, Douglas High School. You've got the backpacks again. You've got shuttle buses coming from so many different locations.
Yeah, there's going to be a shuttle bus at every high school, and one of our MARTA stations will also provide transportation for our families. And then when they get there, you'll get free school supplies as long as they last. We're giving out bicycles, helmets, car seats. We're letting people register. And as we get better over each year, we may not be able to do it this year, but we're going to really push to get more people to offer immunizations. The point is what you made. We want to get all the administrivia and the prep work for school done before the first day of school, so that when you show up on the first day, every moment becomes a teachable moment, and that there's not a day lost for instruction. We need our families to understand that. We need our staff to reinforce that, and we need our students to get into a pattern and a behavior that says, I'm here to learn. That's my job as a student. And the formula is not difficult. Go to school, attend your classes, do your homework, listen to your teacher, and it's almost a sure shot that you will graduate on time and actually be prepared for college. And so I think people try to complicate all of the work behind what makes a kid successful in school. I just think we need to break it down to the simple parts and get people focused again on what it means to really support our children and make them the heart and soul of the system.
Sparks fly off of you when you talk about this. You're excited
okay, look,
about.
I love my work. I know that
APS beaming here.
APS. This was a tough school year. It was very hard, but I don't shy away from tough work, and I love what I do. And I want other people to really find what is magical about getting a quality education. You become a lifelong learner. And the idea that I can have some small part in ensuring that Atlanta's future is stronger. We have Achieve Atlanta, where students can get, every student who graduates from APS can get a scholarship, close the gap for college. No one is doing this in the way that Atlanta is trying to do it. So there's a lot of exciting work going on, and I can't help but I can't contain my enthusiasm.
Don't contain it at all. Listen, that big back-to-school bash we're talking about is happening Saturday, July 25th from 10 in the morning until 3. It's at Metropolitan Atlanta State College. Here's my favorite part, free 99. It's free. All you have to do is show up. We've got the details on our Fox 5 Atlanta app. Just look for the viewer information story under Good Day Atlanta. All right, let's check back in with Fox 5 Storm Team meteorologist Paul Milliken. He is in the Fox 5 Storm Center. Paul, I don't need sunshine out because I've got Dr. Christopher.
Well, let me say, I have witnessed the enthusiasm firsthand. I don't know if she remembers that it was me, but we did the big High Five Sports Team of the Week rally together at one of the Atlanta Public Schools. It was a blast. And so I've seen her dance in the stands before. I was dancing right along her, and we had a great time. So very excited about the start of the school year, although the summer seems to be flying by, doesn't it? And it's just now starting to feel like it's summer now that we're back in the 90s again, and we will be there for a couple of days. So let's get to it right now on Fox 5 Live Viper. Good morning, everybody. We've made it to 80 now in Atlanta. We're at 76 in Rome, 81 in Griffin, and an 82 degrees right now in Covington. So again, good morning to all of you. As we zoom this picture out, it's just warm anywhere you go in the southeast. We've got the warm air flowing in from the south, and you will feel it when you walk outside. Not just warm air, but moist air too. A lot of humidity. Of course, a nice big moisture source down to our south with the Gulf of Mexico. So as long as we get that air flowing in from the south, it's going to be hot and humid, and it will be all weekend long. Here's what's going on. High pressure has set up here over the southeast because we've got our jet stream way to the north. So we've got kind of this ridge in place where the warm air flows in and it has nowhere else to go. So it sits on top of us, and that's why it is going to be hot and humid all weekend long, and also why we're kind of insulated from getting a lot of storm activity. So even though it's hot and humid, I don't think we'll see that many storms over the next couple of days. Here's the hour-by-hour forecast. Going to run this in first of all as we go into the afternoon, and look at this. Notice the temperatures dip a little bit because of the spots of green right here. So the model is thinking maybe we'll get a thunderstorm that might cool us off a little bit. I have to say I disagree. I don't think we're probably going to see much storm activity, maybe about a 20% chance this afternoon. Most of us, though, will stay in the 90s all afternoon. And then overnight tonight, we fall down to the low 70s. Tomorrow, it's right back to the 90s again. I'd say about 93 in the city of Atlanta. This model stops at 92, but I'm forecasting a degree higher, and that means many of you will be even closer to about 95 degrees tomorrow. And factor in the humidity, it will feel like the upper 90s. So here is your full forecast for the next 7 days. We go from 94 to 93 over the weekend. Again, that 20% chance and just a few thunderstorms. And then we get into next week and things change up just a little bit. Temperatures will dip slightly, so we'll be back to close to 90 degrees Wednesday and Thursday. And notice that the storm chance starts to bump up again. So a better chance for showers and storms next week, especially on Wednesday. Karen?
All right, Paul, thank you. 9:22 is your time. Let's get to our hot topic this morning. Officials in one Oregon school district are issuing an apology for distributing a letter sent to parents. A letter threatened to turn children over to state custody if the parents didn't pick them up on time. The letter reads in part, quote, "Children must be picked up on time. If they are not picked up on time, we will call DHS, and you will then have to pick them up at court the next day." District officials say the letter was sent in error, it was inaccurate, and it wasn't very courteous either. And that brings us to today's hot topic. What do you think about the situation? Apparently, we've got a lot of teachers on our Facebook page. Amber says this might be a bit extreme, but I am a teacher, and I've been at after-school activities too many evenings with students waiting on their parents to pick them up. Some parents are too selfish to realize that teachers have families at home too. And then Carrie says, when my daughter was in elementary school in Cobb County, we were informed that children not picked up by 6 p.m. would be taken to the police station for parents to pick up. No joke. Whoa, Carrie. And then Dania says, this is a huge problem. I am a parent, and at my child's school, they put them in mandatory aftercare 10 minutes after school is over, and you must pay by the minute. Even then, they are late. Teachers have lives outside of our children. And then Shelley says, hopefully, most parents would have a cell phone to call and just let somebody know that there's been an unexpected delay. Tell us what you think on our Fox 5 Atlanta Facebook page or tweet us at Good Day Atlanta. I'd love to read a few more of your responses, time permitting, in the back half of the show. 9:24 is your time. Coming up on Good Day Atlanta, we can't understand what minions are saying in the movies, but one parent says a minion toy is cursing. Plus this.
You know, they may have let Paul Milliken work in a food truck, but I guarantee you one thing, they didn't let him get behind the wheel. Check this out. Yeah, Sweet Auburn Barbecue back Food Truck Friday. Joey's putting together something extra special for us. We're talking barbecue and grits. Oh boy, that is sweet. Stay with us on Good Day Atlanta. Okay. All right, 2.5 minutes.
All right, great.
Taking it cold. So we should probably have Joey out here, don't you think?
You wanna start in there and come out?
Okay. And I'll talk to Alicia for a second. That'll give him time to get out here and get set if he needs to, because I need to talk to her too.
All right, so we'll start in there and then walk out the front. I'll walk out the back. And then we can pick up Alicia out here. And then you can come out with the food. We're gonna start in there with you.
Oh, is Milliken here?
Am I supposed to be?
Apparently. All right. Paul does not have IFP. Do you, or do you?
No.
No.
You can.
He's got nothing. Here's his mic check.
Oh, okay. Check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
All right.
You know what? I'm just going to stay here. When I'm interviewing her, you come on out, okay? I'll just say, hey, Joey, I'll ask you one quick question, and then I'll go to Alicia to talk about the festival, and during that time, you can come out with the dish, and then we'll talk about the dish, okay?
Start here?
Yeah, start there. Just kind of hanging out the truck. I like that. Does that work? Atlanta Street Food Festival. Atlanta Street Food Festival. Third away. Ten seconds. 5. All right, happy Food Truck Friday from Good Day Atlanta. It is absolutely, I was going to say it's one of our favorite days of the week. No, it is our favorite day of the week. And this is a big weekend, too, with the Atlanta Street Food Festival. Guess who's here today? We got the folks from Sweet Auburn Barbecue. Say hello to Joey up there. Hey, Joey, listen, I got a little advice for you. There's a crazy man behind the wheel. You might want to get out of the truck and come out here with us. I don't trust that guy behind the wheel, okay? So be careful. Be careful, all right? Alicia Nesbitt, the founder of the Atlanta Street Food Festival. Big weekend ahead. Tell us what people can expect.
People can expect to have a great time at the festival. It's going to be hot, so Fontas Water is our official sponsor. We'll have 5 water stations at each of our 5 check-in points, so bring your empty water tumblers to fill up. They can also bring their tents and their tables and their chairs to come out and enjoy it and make a day of it. We have over 60 food trucks out there. We have an awesome music lineup. It's from 12 to 10, so really come out and make a day of it with your family.
And most of all, bring your appetite. And fortunately, I bring mine wherever I go. I never leave that at home. Come on over here, Joey. It was good advice getting out of that truck. I want you to tell us about this creation right here because you had me at grits. What is this?
We start off with grits. Then on top of that, I put our pulled pork, little barbecue sauce, our Texas toast, some pickles, scallions, and the secrets in the grits. They have an awesome Tillamook cheddar in there. It's an aged cheddar, and they're amazing.
Well, tell me about you coming up with this concoction, and I mean, this is some creativity here.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's an amazing dish. I mean, what's more southern than grits, barbecue, and pork? I mean, it's just some really really, really good Southern food right there for you.
Tell us about the weekend, what you guys expect. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be hot. It's always hot in these trucks, but it's probably even going to be hotter.
For sure, for sure. It's definitely going to be warm in the truck. You know, we're going to be serving up food at the Atlanta Street Food Festival. Definitely come by and check us out. We're going to be the best truck there, so you definitely got to come check us out, especially to get this bowl. We're going to be there all day Saturday. It's going to be a great, great time.
Well, I'll be the judge of that. I think I need to give that a little sample. I'm going to hand this to you, okay?
All right.
We have any utensils? Or we
Yeah,
don't really
sure.
need them. Oh, look at
I got a fork right there. If your buddy
crazy
wants
guy
to-
over my shoulder here. Let me.
I'm now trained to work on a food truck, Buck. I'm just trying to help. I'm just helping out.
Yeah, well, you get back behind the wheel of this food truck that's in park. Stay off the horn, Milliken. All right, here we go. So good you can eat it with a spoon. Is it spicy at all?
No, not too spicy. No.
Not too spicy? All
A little
right.
bit of spice, but not
Here we go. What do we call this again?
This is the pulled pork bowl.
The pulled pork bowl. Karen, I know how you love grits.
I do.
I know how you love barbecue.
I just like to eat.
You
Stop
like
stalling.
me. Here we go. Bring your appetite this weekend. Don't forget it.
3, 2, 1. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, there it is.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
What an awesome mix of flavors there. It's like breakfast, lunch, and dinner all in one bowl. Boom.
Wow.
I
Well,
love
you
it.
realize you haven't paid for lunch in about 2 months.
That was a good gig, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Joey, thanks a lot. Alicia, thanks a lot. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm having a great Friday. Back
There
to you guys.
go. Well, the Atlanta Street Food Festival is going on tomorrow at Piedmont Park. Starts at noon, goes to 10 o'clock at night. We put a link with more information on the Fox 5 Atlanta app. Just look for today's viewer information story on the Good Day section. Your time is now 9:30, and coming up on Good Day Atlanta, water theft is a big problem in Metro Atlanta. A problem watershed management is tackling head on. Right, Dana?
That's right. Our Fox 5i team asked the water department just how deep this problem is. Well, records show it's a $5.4 million problem. Coming up, my investigation takes us door to door to homes the city says are siphoning off water illegally.
Really?
Yo.
All right, you're looking at a live picture from our Fox 5 tower cam overlooking downtown Atlanta. Folks, we made it to Friday. And for most of us, it's payday. It's a good day. Good
Yeah.
morning and welcome back. Thanks for staying with us here on Good Day Atlanta. Paul Milliken is back inside now. You were sweating.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a
from
little bit.
being outside for what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, 10 minutes. It's so humid outside.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hot, but also it's just thick with humidity. I mean, you could tell in that live picture we just showed. It was a little hazy out there, so you'll feel it the second you walk outside. I'll sweat buckets for a food truck, though. I mean, let's not get that twisted. I mean, if there's a food truck out there, I don't care if it's 2,000 degrees outside. Let's get to it right now and talk about what's happening outside. 80 right now in Atlanta, so not quite at 2,000 yet. 71 for a dew point, though, and that means it is quite muggy outside. But skies are nice and clear. I mean, it really is a pretty start to the day. Around the region, we're at 82 in Marietta, 83 in Douglasville, 83 in Fairburn this morning. So good morning to you. 83 in Greenville as well, 85 in Barnesville, and an 86 in Jackson so far this morning. Again, enjoy the 80s while you can, because it's not going to be that much longer before we're in the 90s. 80 in Ellijay, even a few 70s up there in Blue Ridge, over to Blairsville and Clayton at 77 degrees. Again, this will all change quickly because of this, the high pressure overhead. So this high pressure ridge is in place over the southeast. We've got this warm, moist air moving in below the ridge, and that means it's going to be hot and humid all day today and all weekend as well. Here's your forecast for the afternoon. We're going to top out around 94 degrees this afternoon, and this evening back to the 80s. Tomorrow will also be in the 90s. And remember, even though you're seeing this number, 94 degrees, got to factor in the humidity too, so it's going to feel even hotter. And especially this weekend, I know you've probably got outdoor plans, maybe the Atlanta Street Food Festival. Keep yourself hydrated, take plenty of breaks, because it will be really hot this weekend. A couple of changes, though, in the extended forecast, and we'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. Karen?
All right, Paul, thank you. It's 9:35, the water bill. It's one of those utility payments that we all have to pay each month, or, well, you don't have any water. For most of us, anyway. The Fox 5 I-Team Santa Fe caught up with Atlanta watershed workers enforcing water theft violations?
Yep.
Stealing water.
Yep. It's a top priority over there right now. They've got more than 800 open cases of water theft. Our Fox 5 I-Team investigation finds that comes to millions of dollars in unpaid water bills. Millions. They're collecting one home at a time. Atlanta's Department of Watershed Management investigators
when somebody came and took the lock off
have collected more than $1 million of the $5.4 million that they believe people have stolen in recent years from the public system.
We'll cut off and lock it.
Investigators cited the Southwest Atlanta renter for interfering with public utilities, using water the city claims she didn't pay for. Keisha Dixon is the utility's lead water theft investigator.
In this instance, what you saw was a regular meter that we have cut off, and someone has came out and illegally cut it back on.
In South Atlanta, we drive up on a drug bust while APD's narcotics unit cracks a safe. A water theft team pops open a rigged water meter box.
You know, this was taken off. You can see there's a little lock that goes inside there.
Neither the homeowners nor the renter were implicated in the drug raid, but both were cited for illegally siphoning city water. A judge will have to decide who's responsible.
Do you have an account with the City of Atlanta Department of Watershed? No. Okay. All right. Well, that's a problem because the water was turned on.
Workers disconnect the line, but if someone goes to municipal court,
Ms. Wright is in compliance with the watershed repayment plan.
Like these people did.
The court will go ahead and dismiss the charge based upon your repayment plan.
They can get on a payment plan, but not everybody is interested in paying up.
Ms. Parks was accused of interfering with public utility city's water system to the tune of $49,823.
Yeah, she's cited for using more than $49,000 in public water without paying for it. She plans to go to trial. And so may this man, and this man, and this lady, too.
It's a huge problem for the city of Atlanta.
Water theft happens in the most unexpected places. Investigators take us to this neighborhood with large homes and manicured lawns. This meter is connected using a PVC pipe to circumvent the system. The College Park homeowner says it's as much a surprise to him as anybody. So this is a surprise to you?
Pretty much, yes, ma'am.
So you didn't get any citations that you're aware of?
Like I said, I'm always out of town.
The city, well, it tells a different story. And this is not your first time out here?
No. To
this home?
The second time was when we took the meter out. The
first time was when we just locked it up for non-payment.
This man is in South Fulton County. Had he been caught a second time in the city of Atlanta, Water Commissioner Joanne Macrina, who has pushed this pay-up program, says they'll be arrested.
It's only fair to our paying customers that those that are tying into our system illegally this needs to stop.
So next we're going.
And these are the links that people will go to. This goes on the water meter box and it is busted off so that they can get in there and put some sort of illegal device in there in order to rig it to get free water. Now, I should note the $5.4 million just account for illegal water hookups. The number of households who actually use water legally but are behind on their payments, that's a different category altogether of outstanding debt.
I noticed in your video that we're talking upscale neighborhoods. I mean, this is just across the board, but the people who are stealing the water, are they just all of them financially strapped? I mean, what?
I'm not sure about everybody's motives. As you know, we went into one neighborhood, it was very nice. I would suspect it costs more to mow the lawn than it does to pay the water bill. I'm not exactly sure, but I can say that when someone receives Section 8 assistance because they're low income, the commissioner says included in that is not only a voucher to pay rent, but also for the water bill too. Because that was my question. Are some people just poor and are struggling? And she said they have not only payment plans, but that Section 8 provides for it.
Equal opportunity theft. How about that?
It is.
Wow,
Seems to be.
All right, Dana, thank you for that. 9:40 is your time. Good Day Atlanta's Buck Lamford is back now with more of the morning's top stories. Buck, good morning.
Good morning to you, Karen and Dana. A Georgia appeals court heard arguments yesterday from attorneys representing a North Georgia Ku Klux Klan group. At issue is whether the state violated the KKK's constitutional rights when it refused the group's application to take part in a highway cleanup program. The group applied to join the state's Adopt a Highway program in May of 2012, hoping to clean up along Highway 515 in Union County. The state said no, saying its program was for civic-minded groups in good standing. The court will issue a decision in the coming months. Chaos inside a New York City Panera bread shop after a female employee announced that she was quitting in the middle of her shift. Now take a look. That's the manager of the Panera location in the white shirt. He punched the woman so hard that she hit a pillar and fell to the floor. And that's when several other employees rushed over to help. Panera says both the manager and employee have since been fired. The recent data breach at the federal government's Office of Personnel Management was even bigger than we thought. The Obama administration now admits Social Security numbers and other important data about more than 21 million people may have been stolen. That includes people who got background checks, plus their spouses or other family members. Originally, we're told the breach affected only 4 million Americans. The U.S. has blamed China, which has denied those allegations. Karen, those are your headlines at 9:41, and you have a great weekend.
You too, Buck. Thank you so much. Let's get back to our, well, not our hot topics, not just yet. Some unhappy parents are claiming McDonald's latest Happy Meal toy uses some very grown-up language. Listen. Okay, did you hear that? What does that sound like to you? Well, one father says it sounds like that little minion's cursing at him. McDonald's says the toy does not curse, and any words it may sound like is just a coincidence. But this dad, he's not buying it. He believes the explicit language is pretty clear.
I showed a couple other people, and then, you know, so that way it wasn't just me thinking, oh, well, you know, I'm misunderstanding it. No, it clearly says what it says.
The father says the fast food, or he wants the fast food company to stop giving out the toy, but at this time, McDonald's says they don't have any plans to do that. Now let's get to our hot topic. Elementary school parents in Oregon received a letter warning them that if they were late picking up their children, they could pick them up in court the next day. A school spokesperson says that that letter was not meant to be sent out. It is our hot topic this morning. What do you think about that situation? A lot of people have some experience with this, by the way. This is Tammy. Tammy says, I agree with this. I had a licensed childcare for almost 20 years. I know things happen, but you do have a cell phone connected to your hand, so use it. I had parents that would be up to 2 hours late because of all different kinds of reasons. They had to stop at the store, the doctor, the gym, the gas station, the restaurant, etc. But I have a life and a family too that I would love to spend time with. I started charging $2 a minute for every minute they were late, and it stopped real fast. And then Ramey says, I think parents should pick up their children or kids on time. Teachers and administrators aren't babysitters, so quit using them as such. This doesn't count for being stuck in a wreck or traffic or being in a wreck or having a medical emergency. Thank you for your responses, everybody. Stay with us. Coming up on Good Day Atlanta, Paul Milliken finds out whether he has what it takes to work on a food truck. Well, Ariana Grande has apologized again for a donut licking incident. TMZ, released this video of the 22-year-old singer in a California donut shop, and you saw right there, they showed it. Well, first of all, they overheard her saying that she hated America, and then she licked the donut, not once but twice, and she didn't even buy it. Now, the first Grande apology was for her comments saying she was extremely proud to be an American. Now she's apologizing for the licking of the donut, saying she disgusted herself with her bad behavior. Hey, listen, you want to be on Empire? Here is your chance. Fox is launching a contest to find the next Empire artist. Yes, I said it. The winner will appear as a singer during the upcoming season. You can record an entry with the Gold Empire bus as it stops in Atlanta. It's coming on Wednesday, August 26th, and Thursday, August 27th. Remember those dates. Fans are going to get to sing the show's biggest hits, including You're So Beautiful and Drip Drop. For all the details, use the Fox 5 Atlanta app. Look for the viewer information story under Good Day Atlanta, as Paul Milliken is tapping his toe. Piedmont Park is going to be packed with food trucks tomorrow for the Atlanta Street Food Festival. And just because the kitchen is in a food truck, it might be smaller, doesn't mean it's any less work. Last hour, we left Paul prepping for an afternoon working on the Happy Belly food truck. Now we get to see how you did.
Do we have to?
Yeah,
really? We could just go right to commercial break.
No, I want to see this.
Wanted to.
I am prepared to laugh.
Okay, here's the thing. It's hard work, and I don't do well with that. I'm allergic to hard work, as you may know, and so this was a tough assignment, but it was really, really fun. So the Happy Belly curbside kitchen truck is one of the most popular in Atlanta, and they were kind enough to let me tag along for a trip to Cobb Galleria. Check this out.
It's training day for the newest employee of Happy Belly Curbside Kitchen. As I'm cooking as the new employee, how much food am I allowed to eat? Raquel's laugh says it all, because she knows, even when it's parked, this food truck never stops moving. It's non-stop back here, right?
Yeah, it's a full-fledged kitchen on a truck.
Today we're heading to Cobb Galleria, just a short drive from the Happy Belly Commissary Kitchen, where the food is prepped. Set up at the Galleria is a whirlwind, food unwrapped, menu set, ice poured. By the way, notice how hard that new guy's working?
That's not how I would do it. That's not how I would do it. But she's learning. She's new.
And then finally, lunchtime.
We'll do as much through this as a restaurant will do.
Owner Don Hall makes that happen by staffing 4 stations inside the truck. Cold prep, grill, fry station, and expediter.
Here you go.
Due to the new guy's reputation concerning food consumption, I'm assuming I'm going to get paid today, and I'm just going to get paid to eat, is what you're telling me. That's what I'm hearing. He's put out front, taking orders.
So you touch NCR Silver, and it brings you into this.
This iPad-based system is easy. Conquering nerves, not so much.
That was the most thrilling and terrifying moment of my life. I did it. I did it.
Soon, the rookie finds his groove, and basket after basket of food is served.
Emily!
And even though the work is tough, with a team this good, Happy Belly certainly lives up to its name.
Now, basket after basket of food was served. I can't promise it was the correct basket after basket of food. There may have been a few misorders taken. However, we did feed people, and that's all that matters.
Do you have a newfound respect for what these
Oh my gosh, yes,
do?
because here's the thing. I mean, again, it's very tight and cramped back there. And Happy Belly is unusual because, again, they prep the food in their commissary kitchen, but they are cooking on that truck. It's not like it's pre-made. I mean, they are cooking from scratch on the truck there. They have a big green egg, which gets very hot in the back of the truck. And so they are over that grill, cooking up everything to order. And they really are striving to serve, you know, the freshest and most organic food that they possibly can. But it gets to be almost 100 degrees in the back of that truck, and you're there for several hours. And in that Cobb Galleria location, it did not stop. I mean, the line was there the entire time we were there.
Sir, you are no stranger to hard work. I'm just going to put that out there. You are not.
Well, that's a whole new level of hard work right there.
All right. Well, coming up next on Good Day Atlanta, our pet of the day. And let me tell you, she lives up to her name. Rousey is in the house. Stay with us.
She starts growling.
One more step, we're done. All right, can we get a mic check? Count
Sure.
to 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yep.
Events coming up?
Our Pause in the Park is November.
Welcome back. I'm joined now by Grace from the Atlanta Pet Rescue, and we have got a true fighter in the house, named appropriately after an MMA fighter, Ronda Rousey.
This is Rousey.
Rousey.
And she actually, we got a call from a local animal control, and she had actually been hit by a car twice.
Not on the same day.
Yes, at the same, kind of the same time. So she came to us with a lot of neurological issues, and her brain was actually swollen, and kind of her eyes were bleeding and things like that. And of course, she didn't trust a lot of people. So we've really been getting her back healthy and helping her learn that people are good. And she still has a few issues with new men.
Don't we all?
Right, exactly. Exactly. So really, we're just working on some of those behaviors, but we're willing to work with an adopter. So if you're looking for a sweet little, maybe 2-year-old Chihuahua,
Rousey's the one.
She's the one, and she's definitely a lap dog once you get to know her, and just full of love.
There we go. All right, for more information on adopting Rousey here or any pet from Atlanta Pet Rescue, log on to atlantapetrescue.org. You can also use the Fox 5 Atlanta app. Just click on Good Day and look for the viewer information story. All right, Grace, Rousey, it's Friday. Let's send it outside. Fox 5 Storm Team meteorologist Paul Milliken is out there for a look at our forecast as we head into the weekend.
Oh yeah, thank goodness for that. But boy, it's getting hotter and hotter outside. You can really feel it. Full sunshine here, but it is burning up. Let's get to the forecast right now. 94 for a high this afternoon. We're going to be in the 90s all weekend, hot and humid, with a 20% chance of showers and storms. That chance increases just a bit next week, up to 30 most days, and we're going to stick in the 90s for the extended period. Karen, I'm coming back into the AC.
All right, it's nice and cool in here. Thank you for joining us for Good Day Atlanta. Wendy Williams is coming up next. Stay connected to Fox 5 around the clock. Like our Fox 5 Atlanta Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter at Fox 5 Atlanta and subscribe to our Fox 5 Atlanta YouTube channel. Join us again for Fox 5 News at noon. Have a great day, a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you bright and early Monday morning.